If you're 40 and up, do not start jiu-jitsu until you watch this video. In this video, I'm gonna give you the tips and some advantages to if you're starting jiu-jitsu at 40. Do not start jiu-jitsu at 40 and over unless you watch this video. So if you're looking to start jiu-jitsu at 40 and over, there are some things you need to consider before you start. Jiu-jitsu is a very, very resourceful martial art. It can take a toll on your body if you're not prepared for the everyday wear and tear of jiu-jitsu. Brazilian jiu-jitsu is a contact art. So there are some things that you need to focus on before and during jiu-jitsu. As a 40-year-old jiu-jitsu practitioner or somebody who's just starting, one thing that you need to focus on is mobility. Jiu-jitsu, you're on the ground a lot. Your hips are going to be moving. Your core is going to be engaged, and mobility of those hips and those hammies, quads are going to be really important in your jiu-jitsu game because you want to be able to prevent injury in doing these movements. So I would suggest focusing on mobility before you start. Get you an exercise mobility routine, do it for a couple months, and when you go to start jiu-jitsu, you'll be prepared, you'll be more mobile, you'll be more limber to perform the movements of jiu-jitsu. Second thing you should focus on when you're thinking about starting jiu-jitsu before you get on the mat is a little strength training. I'm not saying go all out and be a power lifter, but the more muscles you have or the more musculature that you have, it can protect you from injuries. You're going to get injured in jiu-jitsu. It's the name of the game. When you're doing a contact sport, injuries are bound to happen. Whether they be mistakes or otherwise, injuries are bound to happen. But if you're mobile, if you're a little stronger than you once were, that can help you in your recovery and preventing injury. Your diet is also going to be important. I'm not saying go overboard in your keto diet or whatever diet that you fancy. Eating a well-balanced meal will help recovery and will help you be prepared on the mats. I would say about 80% on your diet, 20% off your diet is the perfect split to prepare you for the impact of jiu-jitsu. Before you go to your first jiu-jitsu class, you know it's a combat sport. There's a lot of wrestling involved, but train smart. Don't go in there trying to prove yourself to the 20-year-old 3-stripe white belt or the 25-year-old 2-stripe blue belt. Don't go try proving yourself to these younger guys, man. We like to stay in our own lane at 40 to 50 to 60. Stay in your own lane. Work on your defense. It's okay. But think about this before you take your first jiu-jitsu class. There's going to be young guys in there, man. Train smart. We don't want to get hurt. We got to go to work the next day. You can show up with a black eye or two. That's cool. But you can't be breaking your wrist. You can't be breaking your arm. And for God's sakes, tap early. Please. These are tips. You're thinking of starting jiu-jitsu at 40. These are the tips that I think you should focus on before you set foot on that mat. Because what we want to do is we want to be able to have fun, we want to be able to learn, and we want to be able to keep training. Therefore, do these tips before you set foot on the mat. I think you'll be good. It worked for me. I'm pretty sure there are other tips out there, but these are what worked for me. Make sure you like and subscribe to the video. In the comments, if you've already started jiu-jitsu, let me know what you did before you started or what you're doing in the recovery process, strength training, mobility, whatever you're doing to try and stay on a match, let me know in the comment. Again, make sure you like and subscribe. This is Patrick, 40 and Flowing. We out.